Self-confidence grows when you care for your nervous system regularly and lead yourself with values-aligned thoughts, feelings, and actions in everyday moments, big and small. Imagine this. You're introduced to a senior leader in the hallway. It's a simple hello, but you feel your pulse pick up, your breath starts to get shallow, and your mind goes totally blank. If you're looking to build self-confidence, then this video is for you. Today, I'm going to share how you can pair daily nervous system regulation with self-leadership so that you can trust yourself in all kinds of moments throughout life. And that will help you build lasting, sustainable self-confidence. Back to that scenario where you're introduced to a senior leader in a hallway. You can take two very different inner approaches. The self-critical approach would sound something like, "Oh, you always mess this kind of stuff up." They probably think you're a total idiot. A self-leadership centered approach might look like taking one deep breath, telling yourself that it's okay and safe to speak, and asking yourself to start with simply saying your name and "it's nice to meet you." The kind of self-leadership that builds lasting, sustainable self-confidence is clear, compassionate, and growth-focused. Lecturing yourself erodes your self-confidence. Leading and coaching yourself in small ways builds self-confidence. Nervous system regulation isn't an on or off, yes or no kind of deal. It's actually a continuum. And where we'd like to be operating most of the time is within what's called the window of tolerance. The window of tolerance is the zone in which you can handle stress effectively without going into fight, flight, or freeze mode. If you're new to the idea of actively regulating your nervous system, you might start out with a simple schedule like deep breathing in the morning and a midday stretch and an evening wind down routine. Oh, and by the way, you've been regulating your nervous system to some extent your whole life, so none of this is really brand new. Over time, as you work on nervous system regulation intentionally, your nervous system becomes more fluid. You notice what's happening in your body and nervous system, and you respond with care before you edge outside of that window of tolerance. Activation, or going into fight, flight, or freeze mode, that's still going to happen because our nervous system isn't meant to be rigid or stay in the window of tolerance 100% of the time. It's actually meant to be flexible. So going into fight, flight, or freeze mode sometimes is expected. When your inner security guard blows her whistle, you can use the same practices in the moment to help her shift back into that window of tolerance. With that foundation, here's the first step you'll use when your security guard blows her whistle. Start with self-regulation with my Regulate, Reassure, Respond process. So when your security guard blows her whistle, she reaches for old game plans based on what helped you stay safe in the past. Your first step in self-leadership is to bring your thinking brain back online by calming your security guard down so that you could lead yourself through the situation more effectively. One great way to do this is through my simple Regulate, Reassure, Respond process. First, regulate. Feel your feet on the floor and the chair supporting your body. Let your eyes land on a few familiar objects around the room. Lengthen your exhales so they're slightly longer than your inhales. Next, reassure your security guard by saying something like, "Thank you for trying to keep me safe, but I'm not in any real danger here. I've got this." And finally, respond. Choose a thought and feeling that fit your values for this moment. For example, maybe one of your values is clarity. You might think, "I will offer one clear sentence here." And maybe that makes you feel grounded. For a full walkthrough of my Regulate, Reassure, Respond process, I'll link another video in the description that provides a more thorough discussion. Once your thinking brain is back online, you're much better positioned to lead yourself through the situation at hand with self-confidence. Self-leadership is most effective in the long term when it's rooted in your values. Here's why. Your values, they guide the beliefs that you cultivate. Your beliefs shape your thoughts. Your thoughts influence your feelings. Your feelings are what motivate your actions and your inactions, and your actions and inactions are what create your personal, individual results. You have the power to continue leading yourself by choosing what you make those results mean. When you interpret your results in ways that build self-confidence, You inform your next choice with wisdom rather than criticism. Conversely, when you interpret your results in ways that harshly criticize or judge or demean yourself, you actually diminish your self-confidence. So when it comes to choosing the values that you want to be fueling your beliefs and your thoughts and your feelings, think about what you value. That might be things like mercy, honesty, service, integrity, clarity, growth, and so on. Narrow your list to 3 to 5 items that you want to live and embody. Now, if you're struggling to come up with values, Brene Brown has a great values list on her website that has over 100 values, I think. So that could be a good place to start. With your values in hand, timing matters. Here's a quick tip for your values. Write them down somewhere that you'll see them regularly. Put them on your mirror or on your desk, or you can even make them the screensaver on your phone. The more often you see those values, the more they will influence your beliefs, your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Once your security guard has calmed down and you're back inside your window of tolerance thanks to nervous system regulation, it will be much easier to shift your mindset in a direction that helps you build self-confidence. Remember that the goal of mindset work is not to just swap in positive thoughts in place of so-called negative thoughts. Instead, the goal is to choose a thought that feels believable in the moment, but also helps you move in the direction you want to go. Use the values you selected previously to help you decide how you want to think and feel about the circumstances in front of you. As an example, let's recall the scenario at the beginning of the video where you're introduced to a senior leader in the hallway. Here are 2 possible ways that scenario could play out. With an unhelpful thought rooted in your security guard's fear, it might sound like, I have to sound brilliant or I shouldn't talk at all. That might make you feel pressured. Now, maybe you have a more helpful belief that's rooted, for example, in your value of clarity. That might sound like, I can keep it simple and just say hello. Maybe this makes you feel safe. Remember, thoughts cause feelings, so asking yourself a simple, value-centered question can be incredibly effective. For example, maybe one of your values is love. You can ask yourself, what would love do here? If boldness is one of your values, you might ask, how would I think and feel if I approach this situation with boldness? Or if you value kindness, you can ask, how could I embody kindness here while still protecting my own values and boundaries? From there, action tends to flow naturally without force. Action emerges from how you choose to think and feel. To keep this work alive in real life, try this simple Friday reflection. It only takes a few minutes, but its impact compounds over time. Ask yourself these questions and spend a little bit of time reflecting. How did I lead myself well this week? How did I lead myself when things didn't go as planned? Where did I embody my values and beliefs in how I chose to think and feel this week? What's one self-leadership lesson that I will carry forward with me into next week? Watch out for these common pitfalls. Expecting to be perfectly regulated all the time. Just as your energy level fluctuates throughout the day and in response to the situations that you engage in, the state of your nervous system also fluctuates. So just as you might need to take a nap, sit down and rest, or go to sleep for the night, your nervous system requires regular, responsive care as well. Another pitfall, doing mindset work without ongoing nervous system regulation. Progress is often brittle and inconsistent without basic ongoing care for your nervous system. A third pitfall to watch out for is all or nothing pressure. Sustainable change comes from small, consistent practices. Instead of expecting to improve 100% overnight, focus on steady conditioning over time rather than chasing or expecting a monumental overnight transformation. Coaching can accelerate sustainable growth in building self-confidence. Coaching with me inside my one-on-one signature program, the Self-Confidence Edit, focuses on both nervous system regulation and using life-changing self-leadership to build sustainable self-confidence. There's no homework policing or accountability partner vibes. As a client, you receive structure through my 3P self-confidence method, which focuses on perception, potential, and perspective, delivered in weekly 60-minute coaching sessions. Between sessions, you have the opportunity to apply what you're learning in everyday life in real situations so that you're actually growing between sessions and minimizing backsliding. Coaching also helps you grow at a steady, sustainable pace as you apply shifts to real situations with the aim of expanding your window of tolerance and growing your level of self-confidence over time. Inside the Self-Confidence Edit, you'll also get powerful coaching questions and state-of-the-art tools that help you see yourself differently and practice what serves you so that insights in coaching translate into concrete shifts in your daily life. As a coaching client, you get dedicated space to examine and shift beliefs that hold you back, redefine how you show up in life, and decide for yourself how you will move forward so that the work becomes self-propelling. Here's what progress can look like as you work to shift away from lecturing yourself and toward leading yourself. Keep in mind that progress is personal, and so for some people, it might look like shorter recovery after a nervous system spike. It could also look like kinder self-talk in tough moments, or feeling more calm when you're called on to speak or introduced to someone new. It could look like setting a boundary with less rumination afterward, or having conversations without stressing about how you came across or what other people thought of you. Any of these can be real signs that stronger self-confidence is taking root. As you've been watching the video, there might be a few questions in your mind, so I'll answer a few of them for you now. You might be asking, what exactly is self-confidence? Well, self-confidence is trusting yourself to take care of yourself and get through the situation, even when it's hard. How does self-leadership build self-confidence? Self-leadership encourages you to notice how you're thinking, feeling, and acting, and to lead and coach yourself to show up in ways that align with your core values and beliefs. What exactly is this window of tolerance thing? The window of tolerance is the zone in which you can handle stress without going into fight, flight, or freeze mode. Daily nervous system regulation helps you spend more time in that window of tolerance. Self-confidence grows when you care for your nervous system regularly and lead yourself to choose value-aligned thoughts and feelings. That's how you become someone you can trust, especially in the toughest moments. Leading and coaching yourself well in small ways builds big self-confidence over time. If you want a space to build your self-confidence with structure, steady pacing, powerful questions, and integration into everyday life, that is exactly what you and I will do together in my signature one-on-one coaching program, the Self-Confidence Edit. We'll map a plan that fits your life, expand your window of tolerance over time, and cultivate the kind of self-leadership that makes action flow naturally. If you're ready to begin, book a consultation at the link in the description. My name is Amy Shield, and I help smart, capable women feel as confident on the inside as they look on the outside. Thank you so much for checking out my video today. I hope you have an awesome day. Bye-bye.